Today we're going to show you how to safely remove and replace the CPU, or the central processing unit of a computer. So gather your tools and let's get started. The computer we'll be upgrading today will be a Dell XPS desktop. Lay the computer down on its side with the back of the computer facing your left. First, we need to take off the side panel of the computer. So we need to unlock these two switches on the back panel and gently pull this lever. Remove the side panel gently to reveal the inner components of the computer. Gently pull upwards on the power supply to reveal the rest of the components of the computer. Inside you will see the motherboard, the CPU, cooling fan, the RAM, and the case cooling fan. Here we're going to remove the CPU cooler and heatsink using the screwdriver. Removing these parts may take some force as they are attached to the CPU housing unit with thermal paste. Now we're going to grab an alcohol wipe and we're going to clean off the excess thermal paste. Don't forget to also clean off the excess thermal paste from the CPU inside the computer. Gently unlock the CPU housing unit by raising the lever to the right of the unit. This will allow you to remove the CPU, but do so slowly as to make sure you don't jostle any of the pins underneath. Now, take out the new CPU you would like to use in the computer. We're going to be using an Intel processor, but you can use an Intel or AMD processor just as long as it's labeled with an LGA 1151 on the box. That's the name of the socket that this processor fits into on the motherboard. Any other CPU that does not fit into the socket number will not work. Now we're going to follow the previous steps in the reverse order to reinsert the CPU into the computer. When you insert the CPU and close the housing unit, you will need to reapply the thermal paste to keep the CPU conductive with the fan and to keep everything relatively cool. Apply a generous amount about the size of a pea. There are other methods, including spreading the paste around, but this is the most effective and efficient method. Now we're going to reinsert the fan and the heatsink, with the heatsink going in first. Don't forget to close the CPU housing unit. Now that we've reinstalled the CPU, it's time to close the computer up. Close the two switches on the back panel and then reattach the side panel to keep anything from getting into the unit. And that's how we change the CPU of a computer.